Hello and a very warm welcome. Thanks for tuning into News 9 Live. The Ram Navami rage that continues unabated across various states, across the length and breadth of the country, but particularly Bihar and Bengal that are facing the most heat. It is Bihar and West Bengal that are continuing to be under this tense clashes between communities that began during Ram Navami procession, and they are continuing despite strong police clampdown and appeals from the government for peace. Violence was reported in Hooghly after BJP held a Shobha Yatra, while in Bihar schools have been closed due to the ongoing violence. Arson, stone pelting has been reported, and Section 144 has been imposed in affected areas. Meanwhile, West Bengal Governor Ananda Bose has cut short his visit to Darjeeling and is in Kolkata due to the violence. But the bigger questions that have now propped up are that who is to be blamed for the cycle of violence and what is sparking violence in state after state. To decode the very same, joining me in the studio is my colleague Pankaj Mishra. Pankaj, just to get the ball rolling here, why is it that in states like West Bengal and Bihar, the amount and the magnitude of these clashes is at a different level? I mean, it's reached a crescendo way before it actually should have.
Right, absolutely, Kabir. That is something that many political parties too are claiming, that the states which are not ruled by BJP are witnessing these clashes, and this is something which stands out as of now, but that could not be the possible reason. The possible reason here is that the emotions, the population and the sentiments attached to Ram Navami is something which transcends the festivities equivalent to Diwali as well, and that's why the sentiments and the outrage that we are seeing on the streets, especially in West Bengal, is something that is obviously asking a question: why these two particular states? Now, politics obviously has not ceased over this, and the way these two states and the politicians are trading barbs at each other as far as the TMC and BJP is concerned in West Bengal, that also is keeping the fire fueled as of now. Obviously, we have heard how both the TMC and the BJP have responded to it, calling each other on this particular incident. And needless to say, the way BJP is targeting the TMC, saying that the state government deliberately chose to look the other side, and police presence was not, police bandobast was not up to the mark, and they let the violence happen. This is one aspect which BJP is harping on. On the other hand, Kabir, the TMC is leaving no stone unturned, obviously, in targeting the BJP, saying that dangaiyon ki jo ek niti hai. That was exactly what TMC leader Abhishek Banerjee had to say earlier in this week, and now claiming that BJP was behind this. So all in all, I would say that yes, this is not just the local sentiments. Obviously, the population, the sentiments attached with these celebrations are also very much there, but the politics too out there is also keeping the fuel going there.
Well, so in Bengal, it seems like it's a political tussle. Meanwhile, in Bihar, political winds are backing it or not. Well, it's too soon to say or come out with something like that. But it is certainly turned communal. In Bihar Sharif, a 25-year-old youth who died, voices coming from the Muslim community. There's a really pristine mosque that was burnt when arson activities took place. A lot of books, voices coming from the Muslim community, women talking about how they had saved up jewelry for their sons and daughters' weddings that has been completely looted by the mob in those particular violent clashes as well. So in Bengal, more political than communal, but Bihar is certainly a different story.
Right, absolutely. And Bihar, Kabir, you won't believe, tags itself and prides itself in a state where at least communal violence has not taken this kind of shape. Now, all the governments, I would say, be it Lalu Prasad Yadav government over the years that I have been living and seeing it there, and also now the subsequent Nitish Kumar government, they harp on the fact, they thrive on the fact that there might be protests in relation to job opportunities, in relation to, say, Agnipath scheme, but as far as communal tensions are concerned, Bihar has tried to steer away and stay away from this. And even today, if you listen to both BJP and RJD and JDS political leaders, they would say that this doesn't happen. But this particular case obviously is an exception, I would say. And the way these elements, obviously the anti-social elements, whoever the writers are, on whichever side they are, this is obviously uncalled for and is illegal. Now, they have resorted to violence against a particular community, and reports and that unfortunate death of the 25-year-old that has come in is extremely shocking. Obviously, Bihar government now needs to take its head out of the sand and see what exactly is happening on the ground. And especially when it comes to Nitish Kumar, remember, the BJP is not very happy with Nitish Kumar, and this kind of stoking of violence in an otherwise peaceful Bihar, as far as communal sentiments are concerned, Kabir, I would say that the tie-up between the JDS, the JDU and the RJD, both Nitish Kumar and Lalu Yadav Tejaswi's party, now this is something that has changed the dynamics in the last 6 months in the state. And now with such elements and such incidents happening, one would simply say that there is something different this time in Bihar. And obviously with BJP not in power, it looks like these elements are trying to, in a way, destabilize Bihar and maybe put the onus back on Nitish Kumar and Tejaswi for the law and order situation.
Well, we just played out that graphic and we'll put it out there for the viewers once again. You know, take a look at where all violence occurred on Ram Navami. Maharashtra, several places in Maharashtra, Vadodara in Gujarat, a little skirmish that took place in Haryana as well. Bihar and West Bengal, it seems like, is where you know, the cacophony was heard the loudest. At this point in time, what do you think is, you know, the reason? Can we deduce or come to a point where Bihar and Bengal have, are at the center of this particular ire? Look at what Abhishek Banerjee has tweeted out. He says this is BJP's Dangabaji formula at work again, straight out of BJP's playbook. Provoke and instigate communities against each other, supply weapons to incite violence, create communal tension deliberately, and then in the end reap political benefits.
Well, yes, right from the day when it happened and starting very 1st of April, these political war of words had already started, and be it Abhishek Banerjee from the TMC or Shubhendu Adhikari from the BJP side, they were openly, blaming each other, so much so that Home Minister Amit Shah had a word with West Bengal's Home Minister as well, and he assured of all help and asked for peace and tranquility to be maintained in the state. What happened in Howrah, or Hooghly for that matter, is something which we saw a man. I was also taken aback when I saw a single man beating down a pizza outlet billboard, and that anger was something which clearly said that he was not impacted. It appears that the elements, the antisocial elements that also take over or hijack this particular incident is something. If two processions were passing by, Kabir, and police presence was there, then obviously it should have stopped then and there. But now it percolating and snowballing into a different level altogether. That is something which the cops should have taken note of. But obviously, it looks like these antisocial elements who were obviously, looks like were being tipped off or paid off or were asked to create such a nuisance, managed to successfully carry out those protests again and again.
Well, West Bengal Governor Ananda Bose, who had cut short his visit to Darjeeling and went to Kolkata, what we're being told right now is that he has reached, Hooghly and is visiting the affected areas. This is the latest that is coming in. But also with us on the broadcast is Subir Bhaumik, senior journalist and author. Mr. Bhaumik, would you like to deduce why, you know, these skirmishes, these full-blown clashes are being witnessed in Bihar and Bengal, after things have calmed down again and again, more than any other state, now that we're a couple of days past Ram Navami? Mr. Bhaumik, are you with us?
Right, looks like there's some audio issue.
Well, Mr. Bhaumik, could you please unmute yourself, sir?
Bengal is witnessing competitive politics.
Right.
क्या mute तो नहीं है?
It's all right. It's all right. We got you. We got you. Do go on.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. We can, Mr. Bhaumik.
Yeah. Okay. Like.
Delay.
Well, it seems like we're facing some technical
we are
difficulties.
witnessing a
Short.
and that's why some political parties are interested in
Well, quite a passionate take by Mr. Bhawmik. We're going to fix those technical difficulties and quickly go back to him for a real ground update. Meanwhile, these are visuals on your screens, ladies and gentlemen. Ananda Bose, Governor of West Bengal, who's in Hooghly at the moment, trying to, well, take note of what's happening, the affected areas over there as well. But circling back to that conversation, Pankaj, in terms of arrests, in terms of the law and order situation, there's always been a black mark on West Bengal per se. And when it comes to BJP versus TMC clashes, it is nothing new. Is all of this really just, works in the run-up to the 2024 Lok Sabha elections?
Well, absolutely, Kabir. See, West Bengal has always been very politically active, and we have seen political violence of a different scale altogether there. But this is a different. This is communal violence in West Bengal. And if you go back to history, and as Mr. Bhawmik would also recollect that back in the 1960s, we had one issue in the post-colonial era, if I may speak of, when there were communal clashes. After that, there is not much to be written about as far as West Bengal is concerned. So, politically active state, but communally sensitive now, becoming communally sensitive, that is something that is different from other times as of now. And these visuals on your screen is obviously of West Bengal Governor C.V. Ananda Bose, who is visiting basically the affected areas and taking a stock of the situation. It's rare that we see a governor actually visiting the affected areas. And
let's not forget, he's also cut short his visit to Darjeeling, and I mean, that's what the situation at this point of time demands.
So basically, definitely, you see, I mean, that's why I said it is rare to see a governor cutting short his visit, whereas there is a democratically elected government of Mamata Banerjee. So now a governor coming back, it is also central's interest in here, and they are not leaving everything in the state of the hands. And governor has also made a very politically sensitive statement. He says that we will never allow forces of darkness to take society to ransom. We will take strict action against wrongdoers. People have a right to peacefully living. That right will be established at any cost. This is what West Bengal Governor C.V. Ananda Bose told the ANI.
Well, I'm being told Mr. Bhawmik is back with us. Mr. Bhawmik, if you can hear us, give us a ground update of what's really happening around you. What's your take on, the skirmishes and clashes that you're seeing around you?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, both the BJP and the Trinamool Congress seem to have, as political parties, some kind of vested interest in this conflict to continue. The BJP is known for its politics of religious polarization. So with this violence, they can actually hold up their view very strongly that Bengal A is a lawless place. Bengal has gone to dogs. Secondly, Mamata Banerjee's appeasement politics, favoring the Muslims. And number three, they're trying to uphold the Hindu cause. They're projecting themselves. So they want to take Bengal's politics into the arena of religious polarization, which they think will benefit them. As far as the Trinamool Congress is concerned, they want to show to the people of Bengal that BJP is a communal party. Bengal has lived in harmony, and BJP is coming here and disturbing the peace and creating all kinds of problems. So here, there seems to be some kind of vested interest of both sides, and because the left and the Congress have become marginal players, they really don't count. So what at the moment is happening is that though, this violence is restricted to some areas of Howrah and some areas of Srirampur, I'm here in the heart of Calcutta, near the Victoria Memorial. You can hear the busy road street behind me. It's a normal day. Nobody seems to be bothered here. So everything seems to be normal in Calcutta, which is not very far off from Howrah. But at the political level, both the political spokesperson will appear in your studios and will try to make it look like a huge issue, something really gone wrong. That's not the case. The average common people here are hardly bothered. But the political parties, both the important political parties, both the BJP and the Trinamool, seems to have axe to grind, and therefore they are perpetuating this politics of polarization, albeit in two different ways. And that's where the trouble seems to lie. The last point that I want to make is that the police has been a complete failure here. Because the police is highly politicized, they have taken sides. They have not really done their job as a professional force, which means a professional force should identify certain sensitive areas before something happens, like a religious procession. They should issue route permission accordingly. Here the route was apparently violated, but the police did not do anything to begin with. And then the situation went out of control. Now they're trying to play catch up. So long years of politicization of the Bengal police, which was one of the best police forces at one point of time, the way they handled the Naxalite violence and all that. But now the Bengal police is a pale shadow of its former self, and therefore there is a serious
But
problem.
Mr. Bhawmik, going by what you're saying, we've got a politicized police department. Both these major parties have vested interest in what is going on the ground. The common people in Calcutta are not really bothered or worried about what's happening in Hooghly or Howrah or these other, small places where skirmishes have taken place. What's really happening in Bengal? One has to understand what's in the public psyche and the mindset of the Bodhra Lok over there. Has your opinion, what you're suggesting, trickled down to the masses as well? That this is nothing but just two political parties trying to gain mileage?
That's right. The common people here are not interested in this politicization of religiosity. Let me make that clear. Politicization of religiosity. In Bengal, and so in Bangladesh, if you cross the border to Bangladesh and ask somebody, who are you? He'll say, I'm a Bengali. Yeah, Hindu Muslim nahi bolega. But here, there is an attempt to consciously bring in this religious divide into the arena of politics. I'll give you a personal example. As a practicing Hindu who has Durga Puja in his house, his ancestral house, I've not yet visited the Kalighat temple. But for a sister of mine, a Muslim sister of mine who is being in difficulty, on her request, I've gone to the Molali Mazar and put up, chadar chadaya hai uske liye, uske future ke liye. So ye Bengali culture hai. Hamare Bangladesh ke bhai bahan aate hain. In my house, where there is a Thakur god, where my, wife has several gods and goddesses to pray. They do their namaz, their 5 waqt namaz in the same place. And we are like one. So at the end of the day, in Bengal, the identity is primarily ethnic and linguistic. I'm a Bengali, I speak Bangla, that's my language. And this is where there is a conscious attempt to change that narrative, both by the BJP and the Trinamool is playing that up. They are trying to say, well, we Hindu Muslims, Bengalis have lived in peace. BJP is a disturbing force, don't vote for them. So they also want that BJP should be seen as the troublemaker, and they have a vested interest, it seems, in carrying on this.
And Mr. Bhawmik, it is commendable that you subscribe to such a pluralistic view. But on the other hand, it is a battle of perspectives. It is a battle of perspectives and narratives as well. Look at the optics. You've got BJP versus TMC going head on hand with, real strong ambitions here. But who do you think is wielding more power at the moment? Abhishek Banerjee is going all guns blazing, but so is Suvendu Adhikari. On the Libra scales, which side do you think weighs higher at the moment?
Well, I would imagine neither Abhishek is a phenomena here nor Suvendu. At the end of the day, the factor here is Mamta Banerjee. If Mamta Banerjee is not around tomorrow, Abhishek Banerjee will fade away like one of those falling meteors. Yeah? He is there because his Buaji is there. Suvendu Adhikari, again, if he was a factor of some kind, that would have reflected in the last election. He's a turncoat, he has been in, Trinamool, and now he's with the BJP. But I don't think it really belongs to that, RSS Gharana. So at the end of the day, sometimes he's trying to be more RSS than RSS. Point here is, it's actually a battle between, BJP here has very poor local leadership. So it's Modi's image that holds the BJP up. Modi ji hai to mumkin hai. And it's a fight between Modi and Didi. Here the Bhatija or the Bhagina does not really count. So neither Suvendu nor Abhishek, I would imagine, are political factors here who can stand on their own feet, their own image. As far as Abhishek is concerned, Buaji nahi hai to Abhishek ji bhi nahi hai.
All right.
As far as Suvendu is concerned, Modi ji nahi hai to Suvendu Adhikari ko koi puchega nahi.
So essentially a Modi versus Didi battle is what Mr. Bhawmik here is talking about. Mr. Bhawmik, many thanks for joining with us and helping us out with your inputs and the latest details coming from the ground. He's speaking to us from Calcutta over there. But circling back to the Bihar tussle as well, there's a major conflict going on in Bihar as well. In terms of political winds, Nitish's flip-flops are finally coming to an end, hopefully coming to an end. I mean, he is one of those tall ground leaders as well that are currently still existing in the political spectrum. Tejashwi Yadav, suddenly the Deputy Chief Minister, calling the shots as well. And Amit Shah, who's visited Bihar a couple of times and has called out Nitish Kumar. What's the political scenario in Bihar? Is that also a prime reason for the kind of violence that we can see, the hate that is being spewed?
Right. See, I would say the jury is still out whether the BJP has permanently closed its doors on Nitish Kumar or not, because the kind of sway and the kind of importance Nitish Kumar, the Susashin Babu, holds in Bihar as of now with his 17 years of rule in Bihar, that is not lost on anyone. And he primarily is focusing on the fact that whoever is in power or whoever can keep him in the game, he sides with him. Remember the example of Ram Paswan, who holds a world record also of winning the seat by largest margin. Now, it was said that late Ram Paswan also had a knack to be on the side that was winning all the time. So he was always in power in a way. Likewise, Nitish Kumar too, we cannot write it off as of now. But the incidents that are happening, Kabir, in Bihar, as Mr. Bhaumik was saying, this is also very new for the topography of Bihar, for that matter, because the kind of camaraderie and the relation that he was talking about between the two communities who celebrate Diwali and Eid together is replicated in Bihar as well. So, for all those elements who are trying to destabilize this social fabric of Bihar, obviously know that they are doing it for the first time, and obviously if the fire is fueled and if enough pressure is being built, then obviously the societal fabric would crumble under its own pressure. And for the state administration to tackle it, it will become a very dicey situation, especially with the sentiments weighing heavy between the two communities in particular. So, to put Nitish Kumar government in such a position between a hard surface and a rock, as they say it, it will be very difficult whether the appeasement should be there or not, whether whom to blame, because again there are Hindu sentiments, there are Muslim safety issues that are there. So for Nitish Kumar government, obviously these could be something that would make Nitish Kumar rethink his strategy with the JDU, his alliance with the JDU, and maybe through pressure tactics like these, obviously, it could be very well, seen that maybe in the days and years to come, if Nitish Kumar plans to change his side that he is on.
Well, in Bihar Sharif alone, 100 shops burnt. So much collateral damage in Bihar and Bengal, particularly. Our hearts and wishes and prayers go out to all of them. But the bigger question at this point in time, Pankaj, it seems like, what is the law and order authorities doing at this point in time? Whoever's controlling them, the final blame will fall on the law and order authorities. We'll continue to probe the developments in terms of the Ram Navami violence. That's all the time we have for you over here. Many thanks, Pankaj, for joining us here in the studio. Keep watching News9 Live.